All right, hi everybody, and welcome to the Bloody Bunch podcast number 18. First take, because there's no retakes.
Yeah, we did just have this conversation.
This week with your host Belfour, along with Lauren and Kathy.
Boo.
So Kathy was just telling us about her magnificent adventure to the movie theater.
Oh, yes. I saw La La Land because all I heard was absolutely good things, and apparently it dominated the Golden Globes. So I was like, yeah, let's go see it. I know absolutely nothing. And I took my girlfriend, and then we took another friend, and I completely forgot to tell her it was a musical. So half of the movie, I was worried that she didn't like it. And then she started crying, so I was like, oh, I guess she likes it.
Wait, you were worried that your girlfriend didn't like it? Or your friend didn't like it? You were worried that your girlfriend wouldn't like it, or your friend wouldn't like it?
It's, well, I mean, Daisy knows that it's like a musical movie, right? But my friend, Sheila, actually doesn't know. So, like, people aren't very into musical movies these days, which is why I'm so surprised La La Land had such good reviews everywhere.
Uncultured swine!
Hey, you haven't seen Into the Woods.
Oh my god! If you
I like quality Broadway.
Dude, I love anything musical and musical related because I'm just.
Here's my thing. I'm sure Into the Woods is a great movie. I don't like Johnny Depp.
No,
He's in it for like 3 seconds. You can skip his scenes.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
he's a good actor, just not in.
He's so overrated.
That's
And also, his was the worst singing, even compared to the 2 kids that were in it. His is the worst singing in the movie.
Get
I think
fucked, Johnny.
the kids did a much better job because they are actual Broadway children.
Yeah, the boy is so cool. There are giants in the sky.
Diamonds in the sky. All right, Lauren. Our next movie. The next movie that you and I have to watch. You have to make me watch that movie.
Do I?
Into the Woods?
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes.
That will be my homework.
Yes.
Wait.
But like no, like Into the Woods, the girl, the Little Red Riding Hood girl, she was like in the Broadway revival of Annie. She was the original Annie from the Broadway revival. So when I found out that, yeah, I'm not kidding. Like if you watch, I forgot, was it the 2013 or 2014 Tony Awards? She does the performance as Annie, as the original Annie revival. That's her.
That was only... Oh, when did Into the Woods come out? 2015?
I think it was like... Was it the ending of 2014? Like, it was like in December of 2014.
Yeah,
and it went on into 2015.
And for the people who don't know what the hell we're talking about, on the forum, we're going to be posting a link dump for all of these things, for like the wiki page for like the Broadway musicals that we're talking about and stuff like that. So if you guys are curious of any of the crap that we talk about on the podcast from here on out, it's going to be over on the forum with links to the wiki pages and junk like that. So check those out. But continue. When did the thing and the where and the where? What?
Yeah.
Well, I was just going to say that on Into the Woods, yeah. No, well, I was just going to say, wow, she must have been really young when she did Annie, but no, because that was only like a couple of years, if that, prior to Into the Woods. So yeah,
it was like the year before or something. That was how she got like known.
Yeah,
and I think, and I'm going to check it up right now, but Miz came out.
Not too long before that.
I thought Les Mis came out in like the 80s.
Okay, Les Mis came out in 2012.
Movie version, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
Yeah, no, it came out. It actually, I thought it came out a little bit later than that, but apparently not. You saw it, right, Lauren? I'm sure you did.
Les Mis, yeah, of course.
Okay, so the little boy who was in Into the Woods, he plays Jack. He is Gavroche.
Gavroche.
In the movie.
He is.
He was the little boy.
You just blew my mind. I didn't realize that.
That's him. I saw him in the trailer and I was like, did they really just do that?
How did I not realize that? That's cool.
I think he did. I think he got casted in Les Mis because he actually played that role at the Queen's Theater for about a year.
Wow.
And then he got casted in the movie. And then after that, it's Into the Woods. So,
God, I hope his voice doesn't break badly when he's older, because he's awesome.
oh yeah, no, dude.
I'm sure he'll be fine.
Yeah. I mean, you never know. Actually, voices once they change, they can take on a whole new thing.
Well, I know that, but I mean,
he can sing higher than I do. Like, God.
Well, for
I
now.
hate for him to lose that. Yeah.
Imagine if he ends up being a bass.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it wouldn't normally change that much.
I know, but imagine if it did, though. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be
But
cool.
he might, as he gets older, maybe by the time he hits high school, he can probably go pretty low.
That would be that'd be really cool because that'd be cool because then like his early years he can be like a specific type of role, but then as he matures into his career,
He changes roles.
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
Yeah.
That's like every actor's
Like if he
dream.
stays in that.
If he keeps his voice, I just blanked on the word. Voice lessons. If he keeps control of his voice during those years, then he should have a pretty wide range.
Well,
Maybe
I mean, you can develop a range, but like your actual voice, like what you are comfortable with, that's usually what like a lot of actors cast themselves are casted in. And the sad thing is that main female leads are usually sopranos, and then main male leads are usually tenors.
Mm.
So like, I mean, if he can, he's probably gonna be a tenor if anything.
Yeah,
So just
probably.
imagine like he goes from being Gavroche to Jack, and then he goes and he grows up and he becomes a tenor, and he can be like the Phantom or something, or maybe he comes back and he becomes like what is it?
He could be Marius.
Yeah, I was saying Marius,
Yeah.
or like what's his face? Names are not
Javert?
are not hitting me. right
Jean Valjean.
now.
I was like, which one are we going for here?
What's his name? The guy that Aaron Tveit plays.
Who?
The revolutionary guy. His name?
His friend. Oh my God, my buddy Kevin played him, and I can't remember what the fuck his character's name is.
It starts with an E. It's
That
That
one
one.
guy. That guy. The guy that starts with
that
E.
one handsome guy. Like Aaron Tveit plays him, and everybody's like in love with him because, yes.
Because he did. Because why not?
I still think Hugh Jackman did a very good job in his role.
He did a phenomenal job.
Russell Crowe did a surprisingly good job. Not saying it was wonderful, but he was surprisingly good.
He was
Yeah.
the weakest part of that entire movie.
But he
He
still did
was.
surprisingly good, though.
Yeah.
He did better than I expected, but
There
still,
you go.
his performance was like.
Completely agreed. Completely agreed.
But I'll put it this
That
way:
was cool.
Anne Hathaway's performance outshined his, and she was only in it for like 5 minutes.
Oh my God, I dreamed a dream.
Oh my god, no, Samantha Barks. I had to absolutely see that movie because I was totally in love with Samantha Barks. She was on this British like singing competition, so she could be in I forgot which role it was, but she was on the singing competition and the judges were like what's his name? The guy who created Phantom of the Opera.
Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Yeah, that guy. He was on what is it? Oh yeah, he was she was on a themed television series and everything, but she went on to sing in that show so she could get a role. She ended up winning, I believe, but then they were like, "Oh, you're actually too young to play this role."
Oh, bullshit.
Yeah, so
Bitches.
she didn't get it, but then she went on and did other stuff, and then she did Eponine
Really?
at a live performance, I think, and then they casted her in the movie, and then she became much more well known after that, I believe.
Oh, good. Well, that's a good ending to the story then.
Oh no, it's
That
called
sucks that she went
I
through
Do
all that.
Anything. She did on the singing competition called I'd Do Anything to win the role of Nancy in the musical Oliver.
And company.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. She
I saw that
finished
one.
third, and like she was like a really good cast, but she was too young, which is why she got eliminated. That was why. But
Well,
she's saying
I'm glad she got somewhere after that then.
oh yeah. No, because I think the one thing that kind of shot her into stardom was because she sang an amazing performance of Defying Gravity.
Mm.
So, yeah, and then she sang a musical number from Cats. That was funny.
Popular.
Sick.
You wanna be popular. You know what isn't popular? A really good movie, in my opinion,
Uh-oh.
which Lauren and I saw. Well, not together, but we saw separately.
Right.
Where are we going with this? Assassin's
What?
Creed?
There you go. I was like,
Okay, no, but I'm like, what?
well, because like,
Okay, the only opinions of that movie I've seen have been from gamers. I haven't looked at any public opinions. So, as far as I know, it's a fantastic movie and it's doing really well.
it's a really fun action flick. It's a really, I want to say more thought provoking than anything else. Like if you don't know the backstory, if you've never played an Assassin's Creed game, because this is essentially Assassin's Creed 1. Like this is.
It's a do-over. Retraction from the last podcast. It's a do-over.
Yeah,
It is not canon.
It is not canon. Even though people because before I watched it, I thought it was canon, but after watching it,
I heard that it was.
yeah, and after watching the movie, there's no way that thing is canon.
No, the main plot, which is not spoilery, is that they're chasing the Apple of Eden, which is a little device thing. And just that alone breaks canon because that's a whole storyline through the entire Ezio series in Assassin's Creed. So yeah.
but even then, his name is Cal, I think.
Yeah, his name's Callum. That's Cal.
That story, that his entire thing, that's Ezio's thing. Like that is Ezio's character. Not the backstory, like not the stuff that happened before.
I was gonna say no.
Yeah, no, not that part. But I mean, like his story being with them and everything, like that was his story abridged.
Yes, I mean his experiences, Cal's experiences of the Animus and in Abstergo are extremely similar to Desmond's. They did that really well.
There's hold on.
I can't draw a similarity between him and Aguilar and Ezio though. I mean, besides the fact that they're assassins and their lives that suck.
Did I say Ezio?
You did say Ezio.
Because I meant Desmond.
Did you mean Altair?
Names, whatever. You out. Fuck it.
Someone.
Yes.
Names.
Anyway, I thought the movie was really cool. I was watching a couple of podcasts from individuals that I like, and I got really annoyed at the way that they ripped apart the movie because I think they're too nitpicky when it comes to entertainment. Like I feel like people are way too critical when it comes to movies, especially video game movies. Like I think.
Excuse me.
Hold on.
Coming from the person
I know.
that just sits there and bashes movies nonstop.
But see. I still enjoy the movies though. Like that, what was it? Down with Love movie?
Yeah.
I still enjoyed it. I'd probably watch it again. Doesn't make it a good movie.
What about Cutthroat Island?
That is such a horrible movie, but I would definitely watch it again.
Your face.
It's such a bad movie. But I got bummed because they were saying how horrible of a movie it was, but I don't think it was a bad movie. I thought it delivered to a general audience of what the Assassin's Creed franchise is, in a sense. It really skimmed the top layer of what the Assassin's Creed franchise is, but in a good way.
Funny you should say that, because I went with my friend who has only seen parts of the games because her husband plays them. And she said that the only thing she was confused about is what was going on between the Assassins and Templars. There was no real explanation as to why they were at war with each other. And I said, oh, well, yeah, fair enough. Because that wasn't really covered. The fact that they are at war, yeah, sure, and you could just sort of go from there. But there's no reasoning behind it.
But you could also argue in the games themselves, as the timeline progresses, you don't really understand why the Templars and Assassins are fighting each other. Because, well, okay, you do, but then there's that that overlapping thing of yeah, but that person's a Templar, but they're not bad.
They just want to fight. Let them fight.
let them biff it out.
Let them themselves until they're tired and they want to go get some baguettes.
And
That's
they'll
racist.
nap, and everything will be fine.
Yes.
But no, but okay, so one thing I want to say about the movie, because I think it was really, really cool, and
No spoilers.
it bugged me because the people that I was listening to were pissed off about it, but they could fuck off, because this is what I thought was really cool. The Animus is not a little shield thing that's over your eyes, which essentially
Yeah, it's
just
not a
scans
bed or a chair. It's
Yeah.
an actual. Oh, and now that I've seen the movie, that is so important for the bleeding effect, which is a mechanic in the game where
You essentially
because
have
you're
visions.
living- Well, yeah, because you're living through your ancestors' visions, you start to pick up techniques and things that they do. The Animus in the movie, it's actually all it does really is grab you by the waist, and the person in it can then move around and actually act out what they're seeing in their vision, which is hugely important for the bleeding effect. And now I don't understand why they didn't do that in the games.
Well, okay, I'll tell you why they didn't do it in the games, is because in the games, you are you are it. That's what it is. The whole point of the Animus is for you to get thrown into the memory, and then you control that. That's the reason why they changed it.
No, but the idea is you're not actually controlling the memory; you're just living through it.
Yes, but
You control it because that's the game mechanic
but in
they
terms of the game, that's why they do it that way. But as a cinematic experience, you need that visual, reasoning as to why that's happening.
Well, yes. But it just makes sense. As far as the actual storyline goes, it makes far more sense to do that.
Anyway, what I was going to say...
No, it's important. No, go.
Okay, what I was going to say, my favorite part is there's a lot of sequences in the movie where you are living through Cal's past, and the chasing sequences and the fighting sequences, they cut between the past and the present, him in the Animus. And that, to me, was part of, that was one of the coolest things in the movie, because you got to see the physical strain that he has to go through in the present, I guess you could say that. I don't know. I thought it was really cool, because it cut back and forth, and I was like, this is a cool little cinematic-y little cool thing.
The more I'm hearing this, the more I'm just like, I need to see this fucking movie.
You should watch it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, because I just love the games, and to be very honest,
Oh my gosh.
the first thing I did when I first played those games, oh no, they're chasing me. Let me just kill them and hopefully they'll stop. And then I just ended up having a pile of bodies.
Because you just want to kill everybody.
The street.
But
no. Wait, what?
I was gonna say, it's interesting because they don't spend a lot of time in the past,
Right.
which I found interesting that they didn't. But
Right, because the whole game is kind of based on the past.
right. Well, that's typically how the games are. But again, as a movie, I understand why they did the changes that they did, and I'm not upset about it. I know there's few people I know personally who were upset about the movie, but I thought the movie.
Everyone's gonna be upset about this or that, about something.
Yeah. But I thought it was pretty cool. And I find it interesting because I was looking at the box office numbers, and the movie, I think it was $125 million to make. It only made $45 million domestically, but then it made $140 million internationally. So
Right.
So there's a trend here with video game movies that I keep noticing is America does not like video game movies. Everyone else loves video game movies.
Right. Well, I mean, because to be very honest, Americans are incredibly picky about a crap ton of shit. Like earlier, about La La Land. A lot of people elsewhere love musicals, and they love musical movies, and then they love video game movies and video games. But here in America, no, you're not doing that right. No, that's boring. That's not about hip hop. That's not about whatever the fuck.
It's not popular.
Yeah, it's not the popular thing that everybody is listening to. So
I hate
no,
I
thank
hate
you.
how well you can do the Valley Girl thing because
I'm
you're such
so
a Valley
sorry.
Girl.
I am a Valley girl. I was born and raised here. Leave me the fuck alone. Gosh, dude.
Get out of here. Get your caramel mochi, or was it like macchiato thingy, and
Caramel mochi. That shit makes my stomach hurt, so I can't do that. Like, that's not.
then
I can't-
just get out of here with your latte then. Shoot.
Oh my god. Every time I'm like, I really need coffee, and I love caramel, so I'm like, okay, I need this shit. But the fucking problem is, every time I drink one, the toilet is my best friend. I'm only lactose
Wow.
intolerant to that drink and whatever the fuck milk they put in it. I drank other coffees from elsewhere, and I'm perfectly fine.
Hey, does
Is it like a skim to full cream thing? Because I can't drink full cream milk, but I can drink skim milk.
I can drink whole milk. I've done it before, and I eat it in my cereal and I drink it in my coffee when I make it at home.
But that's small
But for
amounts.
Huh?
That's small amounts, though.
They don't put that much in Starbucks, do they?
Oh yeah, they do.
I do.
I have to.
Fuck me. Okay, maybe. I don't know. I usually I would choose almond milk, but that stuff is thick, and it makes it taste a little funky.
Do they have soy milk? Because I like soy milk.
I think they do. They should.
Soy milk's good.
I mean, if anyone's going to have it, it's probably Starbucks.
I have it in my fridge.
Also,
A
in
lot
your
of
house.
coffee places have it.
Like coffee bean? I should have
Yeah,
some
Coffee
for
Bean
that.
has it, and I'm better. I have never been to Pete's Coffee, but I think they do too.
I don't know, never been.
Huh, well, there you go. We should find out. We should go on an adventure, go to all the coffee shops, like big chain and like unknown, and check to see if they have soy milk and almond milk.
That's a lot
And
of
just drink
outside and
slight-
interacting with people.
That's true.
Also, slight problem, I don't drink coffee.
Yeah.
God damn it!
Hey, but so something that's cool. Actually, I'm not gonna tell him the cool thing that we have planned, but Lauren's gonna be coming back out here, which is cool.
Yeah.
Which means
2 months.
Lauren, Kathy, and I are gonna take you to go eat dim sum. Cause, girl, you don't even know. You don't even know.
Yeah.
We're
Fuck
gonna
yeah.
we're gonna take you to go eat dim sum.
Oh,
Dim sum.
yes.
Like real, like
Like authentic shit where they don't speak no fucking English.
yeah. That's why we're taking Kathy.
Yeah.
Hey.
You speak it fluently. I understand it. That's it.
Okay, I speak it, but when I look at food, I can't speak because I'm like, it's so beautiful. So I
It's
just point
food.
and I say like, I want like 3 trays of that.
You know,
But
it's
in
funny.
Chinese.
When I went to Italy, when I was younger, I was trying to be really good about speaking Italian while I was over there. We went into a Macca's. We went into a McDonald's one day, and I just lost it. I was like, "Yeah, can I just get some fries?" And the guy's standing there like, "What?" I'm like, what's fries?" And then yeah.
Let me get some Frenchies. No, wait, what do they call fries in French?
That
What?
chips.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know, potatoes.
right. Taters,
Chips.
chips,
That's no. You mean in French?
français.
No, it's frites.
I was gonna say they can't call them French fries. That doesn't make sense.
Because they're French.
Yeah.
That's racist.
Yeah, no, they're frites because it's steak frites, steak and fries.
Dude, so going back to the movie thing, I watched a movie last night that
Oh, boy.
like totally fucked me up.
Which one? Which one?
It's a movie called The Impossible, and it's
There.
a movie with Ewan McGregor, and I don't know who the female lead is, and I feel bad.
Isn't it?
But dude, her performance made me want to cry. I cried twice in that movie.
Oh, wait,
cried?
this-
I
I've
actually
never seen
cried.
you cry.
I actually cried twice in that movie because the performances were so intense. The premise of the movie is just the story about a family that was caught in the 2004 Japan tsunami.
Mm.
They changed the characters specifically, like the race of the characters they changed, unfortunately, but that's not the point. The point is the story itself was so intense, and the cinematography was beautifully done. I was losing my shit. Like, I was on Twitter, I was talking to Lauren. Like, I couldn't control myself in certain scenes because it was just immensely intense. And right now it's on Netflix, so if you guys want to watch, check it out on Netflix. It's about a 2-hour and 35-minute movie. It's pretty long. And if you have a very uneasy stomach, do not watch that movie. Because there are some scenes where you're like, how the fuck did someone do that? And it's all based on a true story. It's all based on true stuff.
The Impossible, isn't that like a disaster film?
It is. It's about the tsunami that hit Japan in 2004. And like the beginning of the movie is phenomenal. It's phenomenal because it establishes the characters off the bat. You kind of get a glimpse into their life, and then everything just starts. It's fantastic. It's like 15 minutes into the movie, and everything happens. You're like, what the fuck? And there's a specific scene with Ewan McGregor's character, and he's at I think he's at a hospital? It's either a hospital or airport. But there is a monologue that he does, and dude, that, like, it ripped my heart out. Like, I just, it was so good. If you want a really good drama, watch that, because, man, it kept me up.
Oh.
It's on Netflix.
I don't know if I could handle it.
There's no way.
Netflix, because I'm in Australia.
There's a specific scene with the mom in the movie, Lauren, and his son sees something that happens to his mom, but she just presses on, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. If you have an uneasy stomach, probably not the best movie to watch, but man, if you want a good drama, whew, man, I got goosebumps just talking about it. And also, Tom, what the heck is Spider-Man's name?
Tom Holland?
Yeah, he's in that movie. That is the first movie I've ever seen that kid in.
There you go, and now he's in Spider-Man, and he's adorable.
Yeah, his performance is really, really good. He's a piece of shit, but he's a good piece of shit.
In the movie?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like he's an asshole for not the right reasons in the beginning, but it helps out in the end.
Huh.
Right.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
And
I've just been binge watching Family Guy, so let's yeah.
Nice.
Family Guy of all things.
Oh
yeah. Oh hey, speaking of The Impossible, I just logged on to Netflix, and that's the first movie that showed up.
It's really, really good. If you watch it, you have to talk to me afterwards because I have no one to talk to about it. But
Okay.
Now I feel bad.
No. I understand. I understand, Lauren. That's why, like.
Oh wait. Oh no. What? Keep going.
Oh no. When I was watching it, I told Lauren, like, you would have massive anxiety watching this movie.
The one thing I watched was whatchamacallit, Central Park 5.
What's that about?
I didn't watch the whole thing, but like because Daisy had an assignment and she had to write a response to it. So I watched kind of part of it and I researched the rest. But it was about that case that happened in 1989 where a jogger was assaulted, raped, and sodomized in Central Park, and 5 people were convicted, but they were actually not guilty. They were underage. They were between the ages of, I think it was like 14 and 16 or 17. And the thing was, like, they never called these 5 suspects by name. They were all grouped together, known as the Central Park 5. And the victim was never called by name. She was called as the Central Park Jogger.
Is that to, like, keep their identities?
No, that was just what the media branded them as.
Oh.
That was kind of like the media brand for them. It wasn't to keep them anonymous. It was to brand them as something, as criminals, and as like a story for them to tell.
As a victim, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I want to watch this movie now.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's a documentary.
Whoa.
But it's about how they were wrongly convicted, and I think like four of them were convicted. Like all 5 of them were convicted, but 4 of them were sent to like a juvenile detention center, and they were in there for like 6 to 7 years. and the 16, 17-year-old was convicted and sent to an actual adult maximum security prison where he ended up meeting the actual rapist and suspect.
Yeah, so
the actual criminal.
So according to the synopsis on IMDb, it says a documentary that examines the 1989 case of 5 Black and Latino teenagers who were convicted of raping a white woman in Central Park. After having spent between 6 and 13 years each in prison, a serial rapist confessed to the crime.
Mm-hmm. Except the fucked up thing about it was that by the time Matthias Reyes confessed to the crime, it was already too long. It was so long that all evidence, it was like that whole the statute of limitations.
Yeah, I hate that.
That thing was in fact, and it's just fucking ridiculous. I'm a criminal justice student, but that there are some laws that I'm just kind of like, why? But there's that, and then another thing was this is the most interesting thing and the most fucked up thing was that in 1989, when this case was on trial, one of the biggest people who were so set on these 5 people being guilty, even though the DNA sample it was a single man and it did not match any of the 5. And they, in the very beginning, denied all charges and convictions and whatever. So they were certain that they didn't do it. And so the DNA evidence, except this one person was so dead set that it was them. And to this very day, he is still very dead set. And this man is Donald Trump.
Hey!
He took out an $85,000 full-page newspaper ad to write his opinion about this and how he wanted to bring back the death penalty for these 5 people. For these 5 underage teens.
Who were found innocent.
Kids who were innocent, yeah.
Yep. And then even after he was found innocent, I'm sorry. What was it? Oh, no. They were found innocent, it was 13 years later, and he was still no, they confessed the crime and all this evidence, and the jury convicted them, so I believe they're still, guilty. And then now, after he's elected, they brought that issue back. He's still standing by that they're guilty.
But okay, the fact that they confessed sucks, but that's a psychological thing. That's a documented thing that happens in trials and when someone pleads not guilty.
No. What happened was the whole thing. The reason why they confessed was because they were, I think, just think about it. These were teenagers, young teenage boys, who were from Harlem, and during that day and age, racism was high. Poverty and education wasn't that great. So these young teenage boys who were subjected to 72 hours of no sleep, no food, no water, nothing, and constant interrogation, they're gonna crack. And the fact that they pitted them against each other, and they also told them that if you confess or you told the truth, we'd probably let you go home. It was false hope, but they did that.
Yeah, if you confess to it, we'll do a deal. The others will get done, but you can go and yeah.
Yeah. And then the suckiest thing was the DNA evidence came back denying any of their involvement before their trial started. Except
that kind of only excuses them from the rape and sodomy though, yeah.
Yeah, well, it does, but then the thing was even it came out, the DNA evidence came back before the trial, right? But then that's kind of the police's reasoning for keeping them and continuously putting them on trial and convicting them was, even though they had all the evidence that was against them not true, the theory that they came up was, oh, you know what? There was one person who orchestrated all of this, and these 5 are protecting him. So if we can't get all of them, at least we get some of them. That was the psychological theory that the police had.
And that would be a huge thing to the media too. They would have run with that.
Oh no, they ran with it.
Yeah.
That fueled the hatred and the racism.
Well, if you guys want to check that out, Kathy recommends it.
Yeah.
I do. No, it's interesting. It's my major, it's my thing, and it's wonderful. It gives you a different perspective on actually how shit was actually happening. And also, interesting fact, our president-elect is the very man who took out an $85,000 in 1989, $85,000 newspaper ad just to talk his opinion.
I didn't even earn that in a year.
Right? See? This was in 1989. That shit was a lot more.
Yeah.
So,
It's-
and this
it's
man,
crazy,
he
crazy
took
world.
that. He took that out for a fucking opinion.
You know
How
what my
much money
opinion
do you
is?
have to waste?
My opinion. I don't know what my opinion is.
Yes.
We're like, we're waiting.
You know, like I was just waiting for the suspense. No, I mean, you know, I have to watch
But
it.
on
I
a
want to
better
watch
note, you should watch it. It's really great. But on a better note, the series of unfortunate events.
it. Is that good? I haven't seen it yet.
I actually quite like it. They have the girl who plays Violet is the girl who does what is it? She's Supergirl, but the younger version.
What?
Like when she first lands on Earth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's her. And then Count Olaf is Neil Patrick Harris.
I know, you know, when you brought him up before, I'm like, oh yeah, he's in that thing that's coming out soon.
Yeah, it's out. So you should definitely watch it.
How many episodes are
Great.
they?
Let me check. Let me check.
And do you know if they're going to make
Okay.
a second season? Because technically they could.
They have currently 8 episodes.
Does it say season
And
1?
technically they can. But they're not it's not done. It only goes up to the miserable mill. So they still have like the last few books to cover. They have the Bad Beginning Part 1 and Part 2. So each book is cut up into 2 parts.
Oh, that's cool.
So they have up to the Miserable Mill Part 2, and then they still have the other left.
Oh, all right.
Yep.
All right. I can
So
see that.
so far it's been very good. I mean, you know, there are some you can't compare it to the book because obviously it's a TV show and a book and so on. But
Yeah, I've given up on trying to. I wouldn't say give up. I
Decide to put aside any.
Yeah,
Like-
like I mean, I look at them differently, but I still think TV shows and movies, if they're adapted from a book, need at least the essence of the book. Like
Yeah, well, I mean-
they need like the at least
Cool.
the core story
right.
that the book was trying to deliver.
No, like without spoiling anything, this series, like I've only watched a few episodes of it, but throughout the books, if you've read it, Lemony Snicket makes an appearance randomly, and he kind of gives like a narration.
I love
like,
who they got to play
It was
Liberty Sticket.
great. It was great, and like they would say certain words in the book, and then like that word would be clarified and given like a definition. And they did that in the show.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they have Lemony
wow.
Snicket like randomly appear, and he would like do his narration, and then he would say words, or like one of the characters would say a word, and then either that very character or another character would give like a definition of it.
I love that guy. Who is it? What is the name of that actor who plays him?
Who plays who? Lemony Snicket?
Yeah, it's the guy who plays Kronk.
He's also the guy who does Buzz
Seinfeld.
Lightyear, and
Yes.
Joe Swanson from Family Guy.
Yes.
Did you just say Buzz Lightyear?
Yeah.
No, he does not does. He does not do. Duh. He does not do
Buzz
Buzz
Lightyear.
Lightyear. That's Tim Allen.
Does it?
That's Tim Allen. And
Oh, wait,
that's,
no, that's Tim Allen.
Yeah. Like.
Wait a second. Wait a second.
His name is
Are you
Patrick
okay there?
Warburton.
Oh no, he does do Buzz Lightyear. Buzz Lightyear Star Command.
Oh, okay. Got to be a little more specific there, okay?
I'm sorry.
I honestly, I did not know that he did Star Command.
Yep,
I've always
that
known
was
him as Elaine's boyfriend in Seinfeld.
Holy crap, you're right. I
Yeah.
didn't even think about that.
He's a car salesman.
Oh man.
He's the Carson.
Oh, my mind is
Oh.
blown.
He does the wolf in Hoodwinked.
Yes, he does.
Ooh, that's cool.
I never
That's
saw the
fun.
second one. Was the second one good? I like the first one.
I've never seen the second one.
No? Okay.
I don't know. I'm so sorry. He does Chicken Little. Oh my god, Chicken Little.
The sky is falling.
I don't remember that movie very well.
I don't either, but I just remember I thought it was really cute.
All I remember is the Ugly Duckling. I remember Chicken Little going like, ah! And that's it.
I never saw the movie.
Mr. Peabody and Sherman.
I just know the chicken.
That's a
little story.
great movie.
He was King Agamemnon.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Because they're in the thing, and freaking Peabody, or is it Peabody? No, I think it's Sherman, becomes like a gladiator for a second, and then like you see him put him on his shoulders. It's great.
A gladiator.
Yeah. Well, freaking. Oh, I'm sorry, a soldier.
Oh wait, he's in this guy, Patrick. He was in what is it? He's in League of Legends.
Well,
What?
He's in League of Legends twice.
As
Bluhdy
who?
Bear and
Volibear!
and Zach.
Oh, okay. Volibear. I love Volibear.
He also does Call of Duty.
Anybody who's been playing League for a while, Season 1, Season 2, Volibear support, that's the shit. Not gonna lie. Volibear support was the greatest thing in the world. Volibear and Ashe is the best bottom lane today. Not today, because now everything's different. But
who did you play?
me, I mained Ashe. Ashe was my main character to play. And
Oh.
I rotated through Varus, Caitlyn. It was Ashe, Varus, Caitlyn. There's another ADC I used to play.
Wait, guys, he does the ride of soaring over California.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And oh no, Star Tours. He does the Star Tours at
He's like-
Disney's Hollywood
He's like,
Studios.
thank you for
Oh,
flying.
and Disneyland. Yeah, he does the whole like the whole beginning, like remember to fasten your seatbelts and blah blah blah.
Yeah, there's
and
like
then he does Star Tours.
I didn't know he did Star Tours.
He's in he's one of the
Just now. Wow.
G24T in the queue.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, that's his voice.
Yeah, he's on the very top.
Yeah, the things you know.
Well then.
Well, in infomercial time, guys. Infomercial.
ShamWow.
Also, go watch The Princess Bride if you haven't.
Didn't he
Whatever
like
that
get
was.
sued by a hooker or something?
What?
What?
Didn't the Shambhala guy get like arrested for like
Is
doing
that
something
raining?
to a hooker?
Oh, I don't know. I heard Princess Bride.
Raining.
Oh, it
I'm
should
sorry.
be raining.
I'm just like
It should be raining all morning, by the way, because we're in LA.
It is. It should be raining like the rest of the week.
I know. I'm so excited. But I think we're gonna be wrapping it up because it is time. So thank you guys for enjoying this episode of the podcast. We enjoyed talking to y'all folk. Don't forget to check out the forum on the Bloodhaven page. We will be posting the link dump probably by the end of today, because it's coming out on Thursday, which is technically today.
So tomorrow Friday? Or tomorrow Thursday?
Yeah, at least by tomorrow Friday. But at least
Okay.
it should be the end of the day Thursday. Odd days are all out of whack because we're recording at an odd time. But yeah, please don't forget to check out the linked up and join in on the community forum. I check it frequently. And don't forget to subscribe to us on iTunes and on on iTunes and SoundCloud. And we will see you guys next week for another podcast. So,
Bye. Bye.
bye.